Success requires first expending 10 units of effort to produce 1 unit of results. Your momentum will then produce 10 units of results with each 1 unit of effort. Charles J. Givens. My friends, 10 to 15 minutes each and every day, putting in that effort, and before you know it, you will be doing better and better and better. And this has been a great week for us with the down moves in the market. I'll show you where we are, where we have come, and what has gone on this week, and where we may be going this next week. Of course, we go back 2 weeks, and we had the interim high on the S&P 500, and then we had a rollover. We had this spinning top this last week. And again, the current week that's just ending, we had further down moves. In fact, ended down 1.86%. And of course, we are short on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100. Now, our trade was on the NASDAQ 100. I'll get to that in a minute. There were several reasons we explained why we didn't. We chose the NASDAQ 100 over the S&P 500. We had a great run-up on both those charts for many, many weeks. And then when things just textbook turned over going down, particularly on the NASDAQ 100, we, of course, saw this market shorting. We did have a bit of a scare for some of you, I know, on Wednesday where the market popped up. But, of course, what do we do to deal with that potential volatility? We use our average true range on the 2-day chart to help us set our profit and loss bands, and I'll show you those in just a minute. Let's go to the Qs. We're still short the S&P. We're very short the Qs. This was the trade we made. We had a nice clear topping. We had a red spinning top turnover, average, little above average volume, higher than average volume, and then, of course, the volume has been increasing as the market has been going down. We executed our initial jump into the market back on Friday afternoon, the 19th. And of course, we hoped to capture 2.76% up. We limited our downside to 2.76 down. This is how we set our profit and loss band here. We use the average true range at $1.13. And you can see the average true range if you look right over here. When I actually go to that, you can see 113 in red. Well, that 113 is what we use to set the average true range profit and loss bands on our chart. And of course, that next week, the week started off going down. It went down for a day and a half, and then it popped up, slid sideways, popped up a little more, you can see here on Tuesday, and then popped down on Wednesday, but never took us out of our trade. We cashed out when we hit in the, it was either in the morning or the afternoon of, the morning of Thursday the 25th. We took our first half of our profit. Then we went ahead and doubled our profit there, and we took a second. So overall, first half of the trade, we made 2.76% profit. And on the second half of the trade, 5.51%. I hope you traded this with us. I traded it for real and did quite well. It took me out in the morning on Friday with a very decent profit, to say the least. Now, I think this will probably continue to move. We may have some pullbacks over the course of this next week. If things start really sinking, of course, we can expect the plunge protection team and all sorts of other people to enter the market to try to hold it up, particularly since it's an election year. The people that are in charge don't like the market to go down heavy during an election year. So take profits where you can. And again, look and act. And again, doesn't cost you anything at all to practice trade. So the Qs trade has gone very well for us in a very short period of time, and it looks like it is still running. Let's look at where we are on 20-year government bonds. This was the big up for the day. Everything else was down, but this one was not, popping up 2.12%. I'd like to tell you that I could have seen this coming somewhere. I have not been able to see it. In fact, we had 3 weeks up, down, 3 weeks up, down, 2 weeks down, and then this week popping up. Nothing here in the charts revealed any of that to us, but we do have things taking off quite strongly in bonds. We'll see how long this continues to go. Now, one thing we could do here that wouldn't be a bad idea, check it out. I saw this earlier. Look at where bonds peaked right there after Christmas Day, the week starting Tuesday, the 26th of last year. We're going to go ahead and pop up there right now a horizontal line. And of course, our horizontal lines, we use the purple line. Check it out, my friends. We have hit this same spot that we hit for the high for the week. Actually hit it on Friday. You can see it on Friday. Let's see, is that Friday afternoon? That's where it hit. So will we see the market move further up this next week, or is it going to stop where it stopped at the end of last year and roll back down? If we see a big pullover, and this was the interim high, and things pull over this next week, then of course we might enter a negative trade. That would be the opposite of TLT, which is TBF, Tango Bravo Foxtrot. What is that? Well, TBF. That is the ProShares single short of treasuries. It goes down when treasuries go up, but it does just the opposite when treasuries go down. It goes up. It's an inverse fund. And of course, those offer opportunities to you if you know how to read a chart. Maybe it's going to keep going, but we will be paying close attention. So put that in your show notes, in your trading notes, to be watching to see just what 20-year bonds do this next week. They really hammered up. May very well continue to go up, but did they hammer up today? 3.12%. What about gold? Gold pulling back again. And again, we got a bit of a ceiling here that we've hit on before. That gold maybe is just sitting right there on it. We saw it start to roll off of it on Friday afternoon. Don't know what gold is going to do. Again, we had 2.5 days of really strong up movement this week, starting in the morning on Tuesday, went up strongly on Wednesday. Thursday popped up in the morning, and since then, it's devolved a little bit. So we will keep our eye on things. On Friday morning, we had a whole lot of volatility in gold, but it settled the day out, moving down. So we will keep an eye on it, see if it's going to bounce off this ceiling as it has done before, or if it's going to penetrate through and gain some energy. Bitcoin pulling back again. Bitcoin reached its most recent high back on Monday morning of the week that just ended. And since then, it's pretty much been moving down. Really strong on Thursday. Not so much on Friday. Right now, 1.33%. Spinning top here. Is Bitcoin just digesting the prior gains, getting ready to move up again? 2-day chart, of course, the Thursday, Friday has closed below the weekly trend line. So as this new week starts, we'll pay close attention to Bitcoin, see if we need to go short again. We did that sweet short trade. Remember that on, I think it was BITI, and captured a nice little chunk of change there. We'll see what Bitcoin is going to do now. That is where we are, folks, as we end the week. We so appreciate you being with us. Appreciate all of you who are with us each and every day this last week. All we ask is 10 to 15 minutes each and every day. Learn how to chart these markets. Don't worry about how long it will take, because once you master the markets, you'll make up for every minute you